Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we are going to be looking at what to do with a failing Amazon FBA product. I'm going to give you some really actionable tips in this video. So if you're interested in this sort of content, make sure you are subscribed with the notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're not. My name is Jonny Bradley. I'm founder of the Seller Pro Academy, where we help ordinary people create extraordinary things, just one product at a time. So today, this is a video that I've actually, this is the second time recording this video because the first time the blur was blurry, the camera angles were all bad, and the audio was crap as well. So hopefully this is going to go well. Let's talk about failure. So I've got a little presentation to show you, just some visual cues, but I want to talk about failure because, look, let's be honest, guys. Any business can fail. Any business can fail. And with an Amazon FBA business, I said that weird, Amazon FBA business, then the failure can normally happen in one of two places, really. It's the product, like the product research, and it's then once it's live on Amazon, if you didn't do that properly, then you can quite often sink a lot of money into PPC if you don't know what I'm going to tell you today. So everything you're about to see, everything you're about to learn is also covered in my book, The One Product Strategy, which you can get for free, plus some shipping. Just let me know where you want me to send it. There's going to be a link down in the description for that. And it goes into it in a huge amount of detail. So you can always get that. Now, let's just pop onto the computer because I'm going to show you a Venn diagram. I love diagrams. So as you can see, guys, I have a master's degree in art and keynote presentations. This is high quality right here. But there's three things. There's three areas that have such a huge impact on the success of your product and the success of your business, particularly on Amazon. And quite a lot of these things you can probably extrapolate to other businesses as well. So we're going to be looking at three things in particular. Well, actually, there's going to be four things, a little bonus tip near the end, which even if you have all of these three things sorted, if you don't have this one thing at the end I'm going to talk to you about, the whole thing goes to shit. So let's go for the first one. Let's talk about images. Okay, so images are one of the biggest reasons why people will buy your product. And you have to put a lot of work into it. I see so many people just on Amazon in general where they think of images as an afterthought and they think of branding as an afterthought, whereas that's why people are buying your product. That's why people are clicking on your listing. What you have to remember is that people are visual. They're not reading your title, guys. They're not reading your title. They're looking at the pictures and deciding if it's worth their time to click on it or not. When you're looking at PPC, it's all to do with your images. You know, if the keywords are relevant, of course, but it's all to do with your images. So the images are one of the most important things. And we're going to deep dive into this once I tell you all three things, okay? The next is price. So price can be looked at. Is it a high price? Is it a low price? And that's really what we're going to be thinking about at price in terms of optimizing your price to be the sweet spot in relation to images and the next thing, okay? The next thing is your reviews. If you've got great images, you have a great price but no reviews, then it's going to suck, right? Your product's going to have a really hard time being successful. So reviews are super, super important, okay? So let's just look into how these play in to each other. So they need to be in balance. Think of this like a three-way seesaw. Don't think about three ways. They need to be in balance, right? They need to be working in conjunction with each other. And this is what you're trying not to do, okay? So what I've put on here is, for example, over the first circle, the images circle, if you're outside of the circle, you have bad images, right? If you're outside the circle of price, you might have a high price, or even it's normally high price, but normally might be too low of a price sometimes. And then the last one with reviews, if you're outside of that circle, you pretty much have no reviews, right? Or not enough reviews, or very, very few reviews, or terrible reviews, one of the two. So what we're trying to do is get into the position. We want to get to a point where we're as close to the middle of this diagram as possible. So the more optimized the price, the more closer towards the middle of the diagram you get, the Venn diagram. The better the images, the further down you get towards the middle of that Venn diagram. And then the better the reviews in terms of, you know, lots of positive reviews, pictures on them, the closer you get to the middle as well. So that's our goal. We need to get all of these in conjunction with each other, because what happens is that we want to be that star just there. If you have great images, not just good images, but great images, if you have a price that is optimized for that price point, so it's desirable to customers, If you have a lot of great reviews, 5-star reviews with pictures, with people leaving really good comments, then that's going to put you into that Goldilocks zone, right? Great images, high number of good reviews, and an optimized price. So what happens if it's a little bit off to the left? Okay, so this would show that, hey, your images are good, they're really great images, the price is also good, but you don't have enough reviews because you're outside of that review circle. And this means it's going to be really hard to convert people from two ways. One is PPC, so paid advertising. Things like your click-through rates might not be as high, your conversion, so your purchase conversion will be lower because people aren't having the reviews, there's no social proof on the listing, or there's little social proof in the listing, or there's bad reviews, which means that will relate to a lower conversion rate, which less people would buy your product. It means that the cost of your PPC, your ACoS, will go up because you're having to spend more money to get a customer that is less picky, right? So what if we put it on the other side? This means that, hey, you've got great images, you've got great reviews, you've got good reviews, but maybe the price is too high or too low. And if it's too high, then you can optimize that price and you can try and move this little star, move this sweet spot over to the left a little bit. If it's too low, it might just be a case that people think that you have a low quality product. Excuse me there. I'm getting messages. So again, you need to optimize that price. And this can also go into things like promotions on your listing. So with vouchers, if people see a voucher on your listing, you see a promotion on a listing, that's a price incentive so that you can add these on to kind of try and bring that closer into the middle as well. Or here's another one that you can do. Okay, so we've got average images, so that star is in the kind of the middle of that circle. We've got a good price, it's an optimized price, and we've got some great reviews, but because our images aren't great, they're just kind of average, then we're going to get lower conversions. You're going to get lower click-through rates, so that's the people that see your listing on the Amazon search results and click through to your listing from PPC and organic, and you're going to get lower conversion rates because your images on your listing won't be as good. So these will have a direct impact. So what you need to do then is you need to work on bringing that further down, improving the images, make sure they communicate fully, make sure they're functional. Again, all of this is covered in the book on how to do this, all 3 of these. And you want to gradually pull that down to bring it into that Goldilocks zone. Equally, we might have something that has terrible images, like really, really terrible images. It's outside of that circle. It has a good price and it has good reviews, but the images are awful. And this is, you don't ever want to be outside one of these circles. And this means that you need to do a lot of work. And this is probably one of the most common things that people struggle with. To be honest, the 2 things that people struggle with the most are the images and the reviews. Okay, so if you have poor images, and feel free to send me your Amazon listing, I'll tell you if they're bad or not, and I'll be ruthless with it. I'll give you a little tip about how I do this as well. I look at it as a customer, right? I scroll through it very, very quickly. Most of the time I try and do it on mobile because that's how most people shop. I scroll through the images really quickly, and if I can't understand what the product is, what it comes with, within a few seconds, then they're bad images, okay? And then I'll go back through them and analyze as to why they're bad. So that's obviously one huge reason. The second reason is not enough reviews. People feel like they can't get reviews, they can't ask people, they can't get out there, they can't reach out to influencers or micro-influencers. They just feel like, oh, I'm trapped, in my bedroom or in my kitchen trying to get reviews and I don't know who to ask. If that is you and you're worried about asking people, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just go and find other people. There's so many ways to get reviews. So many ways. I did a video recently where I talk about an incredible way to get reviews, and that's leveraging micro-influencers, so people with about 15, 20, 25,000 followers on someone like Instagram or YouTube, and just sending them the free product, asking them to promote it, and you normally get a review and you get sales from it. Okay, it's like everyone wins. They get a free product, you get sales, you get reviews, and you do this multiple times. You say, hey, do you have any friends? And they're also have like Instagram accounts, which they will, and we'd love to give them a free product. So easy to do that. Just takes a bit of legwork. Reviews are easy to get if you just put the legwork in. You have to just put the legwork in. Like with the images, okay, if you just put no effort into it, they're going to be bad. But if you put effort into it, if you really think about what needs to be in each picture, and I have videos on this, if you think about what needs to be in it, and it's in the book, then if you lay them out in the way that you want to, and even if you're not a graphic designer, if you have a brief of exactly what you want each photo to communicate, the words that need to be on there, the colors, the branding. Then you send that over to a graphic designer. They'll give you something that is actually good. What you have to remember with graphic designers and people that you're maybe hiring on Upwork or Fiverr or wherever you're hiring them from, that they're not experts in Amazon, in creating high converting images for Amazon. They might be good graphic designers, but they have no idea what makes a high converting image for Amazon. So what you need to do is you need to learn what makes a high converting image for Amazon, and then you tell the graphic designer what you need to have in your photos. If you don't know how to do that, get the book. Okay, it's all in there. With the price is something that you don't know, right? You don't know until you have your product on Amazon. So everything else you can plan for. You can plan your images, you can plan the reviews, but you can't really plan your price. You can guess your price, you can list your price. Ultimately, with the price, you need to test it out. So for example, if we're looking at this, if you test it out and this star is kind of over here somewhere, that means your price is maybe a little bit too high. So you need to lower your price a bit, do a little discount, do a deal, and that will bring it more into the Goldilocks zone so you can get this high converting listing. Okay, so that takes time, and I would say don't make changes on your price often, right? If test your price and then at least 4 days later or even a week later, you need to have enough data to make a decision. If it increases the conversion rate or decreases the conversion rate, then you can assess from there and make changes because of that data. And make changes from that data, not just, oh, I think I've sold more, I don't think I've sold enough. Then look at the data week on week and don't change anything else, only change one thing at a time and just see if it's actually made a difference. What if you do all of this and it doesn't work? Okay, what if you do all of this and it just still doesn't work? And look, this can happen, okay? This can happen. Hopefully it wouldn't happen to you, but it could happen if you don't understand that it can. If you do all of these things and it's still not working, you have incredible images, you have loads of good reviews and your price is optimized, it's a little bit cheaper than everyone else's, so it's a no-brainer to buy your product, there's something wrong with your product offer. There's something with the product that is just not right. It might be not high quality enough. It might be too cheap looking. There's something wrong with the product offer, okay? Because there's no other reason why someone wouldn't buy your product over the competition if there's something wrong with the product. This is why product research, product discovery, market research is so important within your Amazon business, because it's the bottleneck, right? If you have a poor product, then the product will not be successful. It doesn't matter if you have the best images, the best price, and the best reviews, it's just not going to be successful. I have an example of this. I have one of my 100K club members recently reached 100K. His name's Michael. He started with under £1,000. When he reached his 100K, I'll throw up the screenshot from Facebook, and he said, he's launched 3 products and the second one failed. Okay, the first one did well. That's his first product. The second one failed, and then the third one did really, really well, right? Doing upwards of like 15 grand a month. And the reason it failed wasn't because of the images or the price of the reviews. It was because it was the wrong product. Okay, I think he said in his, again, I'll throw it up for you. He said that he just didn't do the product. It's just the wrong product, right? He kind of maybe got a bit cocky and thought, oh, I've done this once, I can just do it again. Made a mistake on the product and couldn't recover from it. Learned everything he needed to learn from that mistake, went back through the training, went back through the course, back to basics as such, and just implemented it as he did on the first time round. And the third product has done incredibly well, like some really, really great numbers coming from that product. All started with under £1,000, which is incredible to see. So that is just a real life example of what can happen if you choose the wrong product, okay? If you're following a guide, if you're doing your due diligence, if you're looking on ways to find the complete solution and find a better opportunity for your customers, finding something that's high quality, then product offer should never be an issue. It should never be a problem because you're doing your checks, you're making sure that it's done correctly. If you're getting a good product and it's having issues with conversions, having issues with sales, you need to look into these 3 different areas. You need to look at your images, you need to look at your price, and look at your reviews. And you always need to look at it from the customer's perspective, not your own. Think about what a customer would think when they look at your images. Think about what a customer would see when they type in the search term and you have a whole load of listings and your image comes up. Why wouldn't they click on your listing? What other listings are there that look actually a little bit better than yours? And try and be non-biased towards your own products. A little tip for you is that if you want to be able to be completely non-biased, is get other people to do it, right? So you take a screenshot of the Amazon page after you've typed in your main keyword search term. You can even put your image, kind of like superimpose it over the top of one of them, and then ask people, hey, which listing would you click on? Which one would you click on? And if no one's clicking on yours, if no one's saying, no, I would click on this one, then there's something wrong with that picture, right? The data will tell you there's something wrong with that picture. The more times you do that, the better the data will get. The same thing you can do for your price, same thing you can do for reviews. Say, hey, which out of these ones, which do you think you would buy based upon the reviews? And you can just continue getting this data. So if you do have a failing Amazon FBA product, or you are worried about a failing Amazon FBA product, then make sure you are aware of these 3 things that you need to have in conjunction, working in balance with each other to find that Goldilocks zone. Of course, none of this is worth anything unless you have a good product offer. I know I've been hammering on about this today, but everything that we've spoken about is covered in the One Product Strategy book, which has literally everything you could ever need. Finding products to sell that your customers are. Literally everything is in there that you would ever need to understand how to create incredible product offers for your customers, how to create functional images, how to get reviews, how to set the price. Everything's in there that you would ever need. If you have enjoyed this video and you found it useful, and particularly if you have any questions for me, leave a comment down below. I really appreciate that. Smash the like button again if you have found it useful, and make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on. And remember, you're just one product away. Bye-bye.